Hi, I'm Shein Shanin and this is the Evening Highlights. SP Setia is reportedly in the running with an Australian company for a 500 million Aussie dollar project to redevelop the Royal Adelaide Hospital site. The Malaysian builder and its JV partner Investec Australia have been shortlisted for the mixed development precinct that spans 7 hectares. According to the Australian, SP Setia and Investec Australia are among 4 master developers that made the cut to present their proposals for their projects. The other 3 are John Holland with China Communications Construction Company in partnership with Adelaide-based Commercial and General, Lendlease and Walker Corporation. The SP Setia JV now needs to come up with a scheme to transform the existing 275,000 square metres of buildings into a project that can rival Sydney's Barangaroo suburb. Barangaroo is part of a massive $6 billion Australian dollar redevelopment project that aims to turn it from a container wharf to a vibrant new waterfront financial district. SP Setia made its maiden foray into Australia with its Fullerton Lane project in Melbourne. Its second project there, Park Melbourne, is scheduled to be completed next year. Both are fully sold out. Crude oil prices may have been slipping recently, but Datuk Sri Wahid Omar believes that oil prices won't be going below $40 per barrel.
My view is that naturally there will continue to be fluctuation in the global oil prices. But at the end of the day, if you look at the supply and demand in the medium term, we do see the oil price going up because if it remains low, then in some oil fields, the cost of production is actually higher than $40, for example. So it's not possible for oil price to be below $40 per barrel on a sustainable basis.
In this period of low oil prices, he says the upstream market is more affected compared to the downstream market. That's why the government is encouraging consolidation among industry players.
For the upstream oil and gas activities, naturally the service providers will be affected to some extent, but they have to make whatever adjustments necessary in line with the low oil price. As we consolidate the industry players, then you see them being able to operate with a better scale, lower their costs so that they can sustain during periods of low oil prices.
Wahid expects prices to rebound in 2 to 3 years' time. Oil prices has plummeted since June last year, reaching levels last seen during the depth of the 2009 recession. Since then, thousands in the industry have lost their jobs due to lack of oil exploration and production by oil and gas companies who have since seen their profits shrink. And speaking of the downturn in the upstream market, oil and gas services provider MMHE saw its net profit for the third quarter fall 56.6%. And that's mainly due to a weakened offshore segment, which has swung into the red. MMHE's net earnings was halved to 17 million ringgit as lower revenue and an operating loss pummeled its offshore segment. Revenue for the quarter came in 20% lower at 436 million ringgit. No dividend was declared for the current quarter under review. For the cumulative 9 months, MMHE's net profit fell 37%. Again, this was due to its offshore business, which sank into the red on additional costs needed to complete the Malikai TLP project. Revenue was down 21%. MMHE is a 66.5% owned unit of MISC Berhad, which in turn is 62.7% owned by Petronas. Standard Chartered plans to cut 15,000 jobs worldwide by 2018 as it posts its 5th successive quarter of falling revenue. It's already cut its Malaysian workforce by 11% in the first quarter of this year. It's not known how many of its Malaysian employees, if any, will be affected this time around. Stanchart says it recorded a loss of $139 million in its third quarter. Revenue was down 18% year on year. It will not pay any final dividend for the year ending December 2015. The banking group now plans to slash its workforce and raise $5.1 billion through a rights issue. It has already begun cutting 1,000 senior managers around the world. This is part of a major restructuring that will cost around $3 billion. Stanchart already slashed about 4,000 consumer bank jobs in January. The bank has been hit hard by a slowdown in emerging markets. It earns more than two-thirds of its profits from Asia, and more than half of it is over 1,600 branches in this region. According to its website, it has more than 7,000 employees at its 40 over branches in Malaysia. And that wraps up our evening highlights for tonight. I'm Shein Shanin, and thank you so much for watching.